Ladies and gentlemen, so welcome back to the channel and welcome to Excel Island live stream. Today is day 17. I'm super excited. We are going so far to day 100 and we're actually doing great and not lagging behind or tired of learning Power BI. So today is day 100 and the goal is 100 days of Power BI. Today is day 17. We are starting a new course on today's section, on today's live stream, which is data preparation in Power BI with Power Query, the Power Query Editor, the Power BI Power Query Editor, which you use to prep your data prior to analysis or start slicing and dicing your data set. So welcome to the live stream. Today is day 17 and the goal is 100 days of Power BI. We are moving at a good pace. So without further ado, let's get back to learning. So all data set exercise files that you use to practice along with me is already linked under the YouTube description. Do make sure to download the data set exercise files and practice along with me. You have no other excuse but to practice so you get your hands dirty and actually on your skills in Microsoft Power BI. So we're actually on the DataCamp. We're using the DataCamp platform so far. We use same platform where we're doing the data analysis in SQL, career track on when I started live streaming on my channel. So we're actually on the data analysis in Power BI, career track on the DataCamp platform. And we've covered a couple of courses and each course is actually contain 4 chapters. So the first course we cover, why this is coming up, is the is introduction to Power BI. Then we did introduction to DAX. Then we went ahead to introduction to data visualization in Power BI. Then we started a case study, which was what we did live in the last 4 live stream. We actually did a case study. So if I go to tracks, instead of courses, I'm going to tracks. So that's what we've done so far. So you can catch those previous live stream on the channel so you understand where we are coming from and how to follow us along in this live streaming section. So we've completed an associate data analysis in SQL. That was what we did last when I started live streaming. We're in data analysis in Power BI, which is the section here. So you can see, so data analysis in Power BI, we've covered these first 4 courses in the whole career track. And the plan is to use 100 days to finish the whole career track and also build portfolio and build a lot of report and dashboard also. So the course is estimated for 48 hours, 17 courses for over 48 hours. So we are going to the next section, which is this data preparation in Power BI. So I'll just wait for it to finish loading and we can continue. So that's all we've done so far. I've just given you a quick overview of what we've done so far on the live stream. So if you've missed any of the live stream or you need to start along from scratch with me, you can watch those live stream on the channel. So we are moving on to today's data preparation in Power BI. Let me just reload this really quick. Also, do not forget to support the channel by subscribing, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share your thoughts with me, your selection with me in the comment section. I'll be happy to read them also. Sorry about that. My network is acting up right now. I just have to load that one more time. Sometimes I face one or two challenges while live streaming. That's why I just have to make sure I come on live when my network is actually at its best. So I'll just wait for that to come up one more time and I will play along with the network while the network comes back live. So do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What suggestion do you have for the live stream? Are you actually enjoying the live stream and sharing and me sharing my experience trying to upskill myself as a data analyst? Currently, I'm a top rated plus freelance data analyst on the Upwork platform. So I've had major success on the platform as a freelancer, and I'm trying to upskill myself to stay relevant in the data analytics or data science analytics industry in general. Ooh, what's wrong with the platform this evening? I have no idea why this is loading and loading. I guess I just have to wait for it to come up real quick. Ooh, I have no idea why this is taking so long to load. This is not fair at all. So I'm trying everything out to troubleshoot the network. Probably my network is not having issue because my live stream is doing fine and direct. Definitely not the DataCamp page. I doubt it is the page. So we just have to wait. This is not good. Oh, finally it's up. Good news. So I'm waiting for it to finally pop up. Oh, okay. Usually waiting for it to load all contents. You see the screen is still trying to come up. Ah, that is not fair. Aha, we are back. So you can see that we've covered a couple of courses as I said earlier so far. So you can catch all of these on the channel, on the live stream channel. We are going to data preparation in Power BI. We have a lot of more courses to cover, which is over. Click on this. We are starting this course number 5 on the character. So let's get started really quick there. So as I've said earlier, I've included all the links to the exercise files, dataset, Power BI practice files is linked under the description. Do make sure to download those files and practice along with me. Also, do not forget to support the channel by giving this video a thumbs up, share your thoughts with me in the comment section, and subscribe. Yeah, right now, press that red button and subscribe to support the channel. So let's continue learning from where about data preparation in Power BI. So we are starting data preparation in Power BI. So profiling your data and an introduction to Power Query. So data preparation is key to becoming a successful data analyst. You will learn how to do essential data preparation steps such as filtering and renaming columns and how to use data preview in Power BI to identify common errors that appear in datasets. So let's start from this chapter. Let's start the course. So before we actually get started, I always love to download the slides that I'm looking at by my right hand side. So I'll just download that real quick. Download. Uh-oh. Why are you taking me this far? This is not fair. Well, I just download it to my data preparation in Power BI file. Oh, it seems it's already downloaded earlier. Nope. It is here to download. I'll just do that real quick. You have that's already downloaded. So we are back here so that we can learn. So I have that in my file. So as usual, introduction to Power Query. I think we will finish this today. Yeah, we can. So sorry about the delay. As they say, delay is not denial. So we just have to continue like that.
Hello, my name is Khalid Shukri, and I am pleased to welcome you to this Power BI course. Through these lessons, we will learn the different ways we can use to transform our data to prepare it for analysis. A core concept of good data analysis is that your output will only be as good as the dataset that you use as an input. The saying goes something like garbage in, garbage out. In order to provide high-quality analysis, you must first make sure your data is of high quality and clean. That way, you will reach a meaningful conclusion about your data and won't waste time working on dirty data. So how do we define clean data? There are some important characteristics of clean data that we must strive to attain before conducting analysis. Namely, we want our data to be free from any missing values, sometimes called nulls. We want our data to have no typos or data entry errors. We should remove duplicate entries from our dataset to prevent skewing statistics. We should focus only on the data that is relevant to us, removing any data which will not help us answer our questions. Outliers should be treated with care, not necessarily removed from our data, as they can be important sources of information. We can apply a floor or a ceiling to the outlier values so that they don't skew our statistics too much. This means that we cap the outliers at a certain value. Columns should have the correct data type to allow us to perform calculations on them. If a numerical column is stored as text, we won't be able to make measures once the data is loaded in Power BI. And finally, column and table names should be short and descriptive, so we don't confuse our report readers and ourselves. Try to make sure your data doesn't look like this table before proceeding to analysis. So how exactly do we clean our data in Power BI? In order to do that, we use a tool called Power Query. This is the data manipulation framework that is present in Power BI, which allows us to connect to or load our data, as well as transform it according to our needs. We then apply a series of transformations to our data, one after the other, so we can fix errors and clean it up. This sequence is shown on the right of the Power Query interface under Applied Steps. You can consider this to be a recipe for how we're transforming our data, and this recipe is saved in your query, which will ultimately load your data for analysis once we close the Power Query editor and apply those steps. There are 5 different data types that are native to Power Query: numbers, date-time, text, logical data, and binary data, which is encoded in base 64 and most often used to store images. We should always make sure to select the correct data type for each column in our dataset. Power BI will also usually automatically detect the data type of each column and set it for you. Transforming our data structure means we won't change the data stored in our tables, only how it is organized. An example of this is promoting headers, which means to make the first row of data into column headers. This can be very useful with Excel files. We can also change the order and sort our columns, as well as remove any redundant columns or rows from our data. Finally, we can rename our columns to be more descriptive. Let's try this out ourselves using the AdventureWorks dataset.
Okay, so let's start practicing. A minute, please. So we'll be practicing real quick.
Companies of all
Oh, I can see the network is not. Oh, a second, please. Okay. Okay, so let's continue asking our question from. So we've done introduction. So what is a clean data? So which of the following is not a characteristic of a clean data? With all outliers removed. It's not possible to remove all the outliers from data set. Data where all the columns have correct data types is not. Data which is free from any missing values. Column name which are short and descriptive. So I'll go with the first. So you should only remove outliers when you are sure they are not useful for your analysis, as it could provide valuable insight. So you can't actually remove all the outliers from your data sets. So we just continue from there. So introduction to Power Query demo. So we want to perform a demo right now.
In the first demo of this course, we will introduce you to Power Query and how to do some basic data transformations. Firstly, to access the Power Query editor, we navigate to the Transform Data option in the Home ribbon of Power BI. Desktop. There are many features in Power Query that help us prepare our data by transforming it to suit our needs. None of them really work unless we have some data first, so let's import some. When we click on New Source, we will be greeted with all the various data connectors that Power BI has. This library of sources is ever growing, and you can get some custom connectors from the Power BI marketplace if you need to connect to a data source that isn't listed here. We're going to connect to a web data source. So let's select the web connector and enter the URL of the website that hosts our dataset. Since this content is freely available for anyone with an internet connection, we don't need to enter any special authentication details. We can just proceed with an anonymous connection. Many data sources will be configured to only allow connections from users with the right access privileges. However, this is outside the scope of this course. If you're connecting to a file on your computer, you won't need to enter any authentication details either. Power Query has successfully connected to the website, and we can see that it has recognized some tables that we can choose to import. We can even see the web view for how the website looks on a browser. We'll select the best states to retire table and load it in. To the left in our Power Query window, we can see the query has been loaded in successfully. And on the right, we can see that some applied steps have been generated and applied for us, namely promoting headers and auto-detecting the column types. You can click on any of these steps to preview the data as it was right after the transformation was applied. This can be a really useful feature for understanding the effect of your applied transformations. Since this table is well formatted, we don't expect to see any errors in the column names. But sometimes when loading data, especially from CSV and Excel files, you'll get the column headers in the first row of your dataset, like this. To make the first row into your column headers, you can use the promote first row transformation. You can also do the opposite by using the demote column headers transformation. This isn't very wise to do, but let's say I wanted to get rid of the first row, which has our old column names. I'll click on Remove Top Rows and enter 1 into the dialog box. Now that we got rid of the first row, we need to rename our columns so that they are more descriptive. Renaming a column is as easy as double-clicking the column name. Of course, this isn't very efficient, so if I wanted to go back on the transformations I applied, I can click on the X next to each step. Or I can go to the demoted header step, right-click, then press on Delete until End. Now we're back to where we started. If we want, we can reposition columns simply by dragging and dropping them in our desired order. We can also sort the data using a column by clicking on the arrow in the top right of the column name. Let's sort the states by the crime rank to find out which state is the safest. After sorting, we can see that New Hampshire is the safest state. It's now up to you to apply these transformations to prepare the AdventureWorks dataset for analysis.
Okay, let's do that real quick. Oh, we're almost through with the first chapter here. Just quite easy introduction to what the Power Query does. No extraordinary steps now. Load data and promote headers. So we want to load the data and promote the headers. I'll just look for the Power BI file somewhere here. Sometimes I'll open my data sets. This is actually loading since. It's almost there. So this is the instruction. So you were recently hired as a data analyst at Adventure Works Cycles. So a manufacturer and retailer of bicycles for the North American and European markets. Check this article to learn more about shaping data with Power Query. So your manager provided you with an Excel sheet containing the list of products sold by the company and asked you to help load the data into Power BI so your team can build a report for this data. Your first task will be to prepare this data for eventual analysis. So if you continue from here, so the next is to we have everything prepared for you right here on DataCamp. So if you prefer, so I'm going to use my Power BI local file. Open the Power Query editor, load product data. So I'll just launch my Power BI file real quick. Power BI. So we have to load the product data Excel file into Power Query. So the first row of the data appears to contain gibberish, remove it. Then promote the first row of the data to the column headers. Then how many rows of data do we have in our data set? So while this is coming up, I'll just so what's the file type like? So it is actually an Excel file. So I'm taking a second look at the data sets. So it's an Excel worksheet. So I'll go to get data. So I'll just look for the data sets. So we have to load the product data if I'm right. Yeah, we have to load this data, product data. So we have the products. In the product data, we have one sheet. So if we actually preview it, you can see we have it here. I can select this like this and transform the data. So it's open the Power Query editor for me right here, right now. So the instruction now says the first row of the data appears to contain gibberish, remove it. So we have to remove this first row of the data. You can see this is our first row. So we could do away with that. Just select the row and say you can see the row. I'll just go to transform, home. I can just say remove rows right here. That's those. You just say remove one row. You can see it has removed that row right there. I can also say use first rows as header. If I do this one more time, so it's going to use that as the header, I can see. So the instruction now says promote the first row of the data to the column header. So I've done that, promote the first row. Now, how many rows of data do we have in our data set? So that's very tricky to know. We can't just go to the last part, but you can see right here, this says we have 295 rows. Column profiling is based on top 1000 rows. But I think there's a way to actually know the total number of rows we have in our data set here. There's a tricky way to know that. All I have to do is, let's see, transform. You can actually come according to statistics. I can also come to standard. Let's use the statistics to know that we can count values. Say we have 295. Then I can clear that. I can also do that one more time and say count distinct values. I say 295. So we're having the total number of rows there to be 295. So let's drop that in. Yeah, we got it. So excellent. After removing one row of the data and promoting the first row to headers, we have 295 rows left in our data set. That's interesting to know. So rename and reorder columns. So we have to do one more task, two more tasks actually, to rename and reorder columns. So if you read the instruction right here, so the instruction says having clear columns names as well as logical order for your columns makes it much simpler to conduct your analysis on the data set. So let's learn how to clean up our column names and reorder them. Rename the product variant description name column to shorter product name. So we have something called product variant description name. I can just double click and just rename it to product name. So we have it as product name right there. So the category 1 and category 2 columns are not very descriptive. So let's rename them so they are easy. Change category 2 to category. Change category 1 to subcategory. So there's something called category right here. So we have to change category 1 to subcategory. I want to change this to category. So we've done all that. So let's see what we have to do again. Let's switch the order of the category and subcategory columns we just created so they appear in a more logical, hierarchical way. So I just move the category right here. Recorded in right here in the Power Query editor. Delete the product key column. So next instruction says we should delete product key. I just right click and remove. So we have the school right there. So let's move the standard cost and list price column to the very right of our data so that we have all the text column followed by all numerical columns. So standard cost and list price, standard costs and list price. I could just drag, I think I can drag it to the end so it works simple like that. Okay, you can see I've dragged it to the standard cost and list price have been dragged to the end there. So we have all text data type, then we have numerical data type here. So what is the subcategory of the AWC logo product? AWC logo car product. You can see it's a AWC logo car product. The subcategory is caps. So that I think we have one final step to do, change data types. So while my screen is loading, so do not support the channel. Do not forget to support the channel by subscribing right now. Give this video a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, all these data sets, exercise files is already down, is linked under the YouTube description. Do make sure to download it so you can practice along with me also. So back to our lesson right here, we have one final instruction to follow. It said it is important to have data in the right data types for our analysis as well as to save memory. When you round a place, you are reducing the amount of data that is being loaded into the data model, which improves the performance of your analysis. We will also learn how to sort the data using a particular column to answer a question about our product. So delete the remove column step from the apply step pane. We found that you wish to delete the step when the dialog box pops up. Delete the remove column step from the apply step. Remove columns. Okay. Confirm that you wish to delete the step when a dialog box pops up. You say you should delete the removed column step from the apply step. Let's see, we only have one remove top rows, rename columns, reorder columns, remove columns, delete. Okay, let's see series. Confirm that you wish to delete the step when the dialog box comes up. So we have to delete these steps. So it will affect the reordered columns. The data type of standard cost and list price columns to fixed decimal number, which is more appropriate for currencies. So that's data type called standard and list price. You have to change their data type to decimal. Let's see that here. It's already changed to decimal. I don't even need to change it. So Power Query has detected it for me. Fixed decimal number. You can see it here. Okay, this is a fixed decimal. Oh, this is decimal number. Why this one is fixed decimal number, which is more appropriate for currencies. We've done that. Let's do this too. We've done that. Oh, interesting. So change the data type of the product key column to text. Product key is right here. Seeing it as the old number, you have to change this to text. So you see that because we can't actually do any calculation or numerical activity on product key, which are just identification given to each product. So let's change the data type of product key column back to whole number. Why are you stressing me? So let's change it back to whole number. Okay. Sort the data category column in ascending order. Okay, let's go back to these steps first. This step 3 instruction 3. It said the selected column has an existing type conversion. Would you like to replace the existing conversion or preserve the existing conversion and add the new conversion as a separate steps? It said the selected column has an existing type conversion. Would you like to replace the existing conversion or preserve the existing conversion? Let's replace current. Okay, let's replace current. Okay. I think we don't want to keep the existing one there. Now say sort the data by the category column in ascending order, then sort the category in ascending, sort in ascending. Okay, then sort the list price in descending order, the list price descending order. Okay, what are we trying to answer there? What is the model of the most expensive accessories sold? Most expensive accessories sold. The model, all-purpose bike stand. That should be all-purpose bike because it has the most expensive here, which is 159 list price. Yeah, we get that. So sorting our data by several columns allows us to quickly see the largest, smallest values for our data in different combinations. I think that's interesting. Oh, we completed the first chapter of the course. That's cool. So we've completed profiling your data and an introduction to Power Query. So on the next live, which is tomorrow, we are moving to data preview features in Power Query. That's interesting. So let's get back to the dashboard, and I think it's better to stop here today. Alright, so thanks for staying to the end of the live stream. If you found value in this live stream and in learning Power BI with me over the next 100 days, do support the channel by giving the video a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, do not forget to subscribe and put on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know whenever I go live or drop a new video. I can catch up from those videos and upskill yourself in data analytics or Power BI in general. So without further ado, I'll see you on day 18th of the live stream, which will be tomorrow, and we continue our Power